Bismillah wa alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Welcome back. And now it is towards the end of 2023, and we can all attest that this has been a very busy year, and many people have been going through a lot. And one of the main aspects that we can count or look at is how everyone has been struggling one way or another in terms of their mental health situation. And some have taken it to, worse than others, and others have come through that part. Now, on discussion with this, inshallah, to try and unpack it well according to our communities and the way we live and the certain things that we're facing on a daily basis. With me tonight, inshallah, is once again Hafiz Adam Mohammed, all the way from my second home, my third home right now, El Dorado Park. And Hafiz Ab, Jazakumullah khaira, and welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everybody.
Welcome to the show. Hafiz Adam, when you're speaking about mental health, many times people like to associate it with only like a few of the illnesses that we can look at, like your depression, anxiety, and some take it to an even further stage like schizophrenia, etc. But on a simple way, how can we define it to the layman on what do we mean when we speak about mental health illnesses and situations?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. ربي زدني علما وارزقني فهما ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Mental health, I think people, Mulana, you're not wrong by saying all those mental issues and mental diseases that come, because it all stems from one thing. But in simple terms, mental health is like your physical health. Like how we are healthy and we get sick, we get flu, your mind also needs to be in a state of health. Your mind needs to be healthy. How do you see and how do you tell if our mind is healthy? The ability to deal with situations that are sometimes stressful, when we are under pressure. How do you deal with simple things like that? That attests to how healthy our mental status are. So, in simple terms, mental health should be taken exactly like your physical health. You get sick, you get flu, same as with your mental health. You also go through difficulties, whether you lose somebody you love, how you come out from it, how do you deal with situations like that.
Mm.
So, in simple terms, that's what mental health is: the ability to be able to go through an emotion, not to bottle it up, but to go through the emotion, not to stay there, go through the emotion and to come out, inshallah. That's what a simple terms of mental health is all about, and what mental health is.
Subhanallah. Now, that's a very, I can say, like when speaking about like the ability to get out of that place. But we all understand that obviously it's all about the will of a person. And obviously, one more and other thing is in terms of the surrounding of the person. Sometimes a person might be going through stage of mental health, and just because of the type of support they receive, they have a different way of reacting towards getting towards recovery. Some would even get more depressed or more into the sickness itself because of the way the people around them are reacting and and interacting with them. And others, because of the positive environment, now it becomes also more positive and are deemed to be successful in recovery. Now, obviously, we're now looking into our communities. For example, elders. Elders, as we all understand and know, for those people who have been lived there and those who interact a lot with the area, is that there's the biggest issue that we're facing, which is unemployment. Now, unemployment is one of the causes that we've seen in not only in mental health situations, but also in divorces that have taken place, also in the crime rate that has been staggering in many different localities. Now, when it comes to a situation, a person now, a youngster, for example, growing up in an environment like Eldos, and now you come to an age whereby people are looking at you at with an eye of it's your time to fend for yourself. It's a time for you to actually get a job and have your own life. Now, the first question will go as what will be the impact of the community the pressure that the community puts on a person. And second is, are there any mechanisms that a person can use to turn them to be positive points to actually beat the mental health situation that they will be in? Or if not, then what can the community offer that person, inshallah, to have a more positive standing and outcome of their reaction, inshallah?
So this is a good question because everything starts for me. I honestly believe everything starts from home, right? How we learn to deal with issues, small arguments between siblings. Growing up in a home sometimes where mother and father are in a toxic relationship, domestic abuse, all those things, the ill effects of trauma in our lives. Sometimes we think that no, this doesn't affect me, but it can affect you as a grown up. Coming from a toxic home, for example, being bullied as a youngster, and maybe being shy to tell your parents about it, and you keep everything, you bottle everything up. So even that can lead to growing up and becoming an adult that is got mental health issues. So I feel it starts from home where we should monitor and we should raise our kids in a way where we speak about mental health, we speak about your well-being as a whole, your physical health, your mental health. How do you deal with people teasing you, for example? Someone said you got a big head. Okay, well, what do you think about it? Why did you get angry by it? How did you deal with it? What was your response? You know, all these things. Or your kid maybe saying, "Mommy, I don't want to wear this type of shirt or this pants. Why? Why don't you want to wear this?" No, they
Mm,
tease me at school. Why are they teasing you? What do you feel? Well, it's just being able to have conversations. And I think in a communities like El Dorado Park and many other communities, it's a very taboo topic because nobody wants to speak on uh, something they regard as simple as how do you feel or how did something make you feel. It's as simple as that. From youngsters, the child is crying because of the eye, man, he's just being a baby, especially son.
mm, mm.
You're just being a sissy. Come, man up. You know, so it's that deep, and it starts as young as that. Then obviously, how do you deal with it? Number one, support structure. Again, from home. From home, the type of friends that you have, uh, the environment that you find yourself in, the work environment. I mean, you'll be surprised that there are grown men that are being bullied at work in the workplaces,
Subhan.
and they cannot stand for themselves. And I wanted to digress a little bit on this topic and dedicate this topic to our Muslim men, our
Mhm.
married young men, youngsters that are in school. I wanted to dedicate it to males specifically because I think they have the, the shorter end of the stick in terms of mental health issues and how uh, people or how society cares about men and how they feel. Like for example, when I will ask you, when was the last time someone asked you how you felt, like how you really felt? You
Yeah,
know?
now that's a deep one because you have to think. Subhanallah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so deep that we take advantage, right, of men. There are fathers that wake up every day, don't have the energy to, but they know there's no other way. They just have to wake up
Subhan.
and go work.
Subhan.
There are fathers that are petrol attendants. Winter, summer, snowing, it doesn't matter. They have to do it. Regardless of what they just have to do it. There are fathers who are in toxic work environments, sitting on last written warnings, they're being abused, being sworn at, but they wake up and go work for their families. They don't have the choice. They don't have a plan B, you know? So I want to dedicate this show to every man, especially our Muslim men, our youngsters that are struggling probably with being bullied at school, struggling probably from witnessing their mothers being abused at home by the fathers or vice versa. I want to dedicate the show to the men specifically, and not that we're not considering our women folk, but Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed women so much that every opportunity they get, Alhamdulillah, they are not afraid to vent.
Mm,
A woman will ask how she, a friend will ask, how are you doing? She'll tell, the whole story, the whole week.
Subhanallah.
No, this happened, I
Mm,
felt about this. Alhamdulillah, a woman will always vent. To get opportunity, she'll always vent. Where men, you could be, your never could be giving in.
mm,
And someone will ask, hey, how you feeling? Alhamdulillah, everything's good. I'm good. You know, so I want to dedicate the show, especially for our Muslim men that are going through the worst, and especially the Muslim men in Gaza and in all other Muslim parts of the world that are being oppressed. You know, it was very sad seeing how they took male figures, breadwinners, our heroes, because that's what Muslim husbands are to their families. They are heroes. You know, in Gaza they were taken out, undressed, and made them parade the streets. Imagine how you disgrace a man. How do you disgrace such a figure? You know, how do you do that in front of their families? You know, I want to dedicate the show to whoever you are, wherever you may be in the world. You know, having whatever difficulties you may be going through. Maybe you have parents that are in hospital, that are elderly, that are sickly. You know, and you also have your own family take care of.
mm.
All these things that are happening all at once, because you're not given a break when you have a breathe or something else happens. And alhamdulillah, it's a will of Allah. You know, we make dua that Allah make it easy for all of us, and Allah gives peace and comfort to everybody that's going through the most.
Mm. No, 100%. Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy once again for all those men who are going through the most and don't have a place where they feel that they are safe enough to let it out to vent. It's very important, Havisa, what you're speaking about. But however, there's one thing that I also learned is that unfortunately, society is built in a way that they do not care about a man's words. Um, and until subhanallah, you find many times whereby unfortunately it even drives a man to committing suicide for people to be
Yeah,
like he should have said something, but the moment a person wanted to stand up and say something, he was being put down. And for yeah, people now give labels like toxic masculinity, that when a person is trying to live his life the way he feels that no, this is how it's supposed to be because I'm a man, I have to stand up, I have to do one two three. Now they're being shunned and being told that no, you're doing too much now. One of the points you raise is that the bullying now is not only at home, it's not only in the workspace, but it's actually very broad. And most importantly, the point of our brothers and sisters in Palestine, most of their brothers and the fathers who have been humiliated to the core, subhanallah. You can't even fathom and think about how embarrassing that point is. But we really make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes all their pain and turns it into victory, inshallah. Ameen. Now, Habisab,
yeah,
we just have 5 minutes remaining, subhanallah. And again, it's one of those topics that we can go for long and forever. The one other point now is in terms of we do find certain um, we can call it platforms which are granted to men to speak out, to be heard. But the most important thing, like you mentioned, is that especially when you are young, married Muslim men, is that you need to have a spouse who can listen to you. Subhanallah. And it's one of the points that you raised last week that it always starts with the right person that you look at in terms of making your wife. So it starts with the right person that you get to hold on to or marry, to become the spouse. Now, what advice can we now give to the lady folks in the household when the man, you can see, there's certain times, like my wife, for example, she can see that, okay, something is wrong with dude here, but he doesn't know how to say it, can't spit it out. But subhanallah, they always have a way of letting you speak, and alhamdulillah, it does become easier. Alhamdulillah, we make dua, we make shukr for having such spouses. Now, for those who find it difficult to push the guy into the corner, how can we advise them now in letting the environment or the atmosphere become a bit easy for the brother, inshallah, to say, you know what, this is what's going on, and this is what I need in terms of the support from your side, inshallah.
uh, this is so simple because if you must just look at the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and look at our mother and the first Muslim to accept Islam, Khadija radiallahu anha,
Mm,
you know, how much support she gave our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How much support. We are Muslims too. We have so much, we owe so much to her as Muslims. The way she supported the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So,
There are surahs that mentioned how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was distressed, and she, with her money, physically, emotionally, she supported her husband. Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed. Allah is blessed me with a wife that supports me. She knows something is wrong before I even know something is wrong. As much as I try to hide it, she always try and she always sees. So there's nothing much I can say about the woman. Wallahi, Allah give us an opportunity to learn our deen, to learn the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, because everything is there. And then the morning routine du'as that we learn, Allahumma inni as'aluka min al-hamli wal-hazan. You know, we're speaking about the grief and anxiety, and the Prophet ﷺ taught us to make this dua. Make this dua for protection against grief and anxiety. You know, as for those that don't have spouses, and even remember, we also can't always, maybe you don't find it comfortable to always complain to the wife, or not, maybe not complain, but to find yourself and make yourself vulnerable to your wife. Try and get brothers, friends, close friends that you trust, that you can vent to, that you can have, you can speak to. You know, alhamdulillah, some of us, we've over the years, we've had brothers with us that we've made it comfortable for us in a circle to speak about things that are hurting us, things that are deep, sometimes things that are maybe financial issues, things that you would be embarrassed or be ashamed sometimes to speak about, you know, and to have it with people that you trust, that they're not going to use these things against you, but they're going to try and lift you up, you know. So alhamdulillah, having that good circle around you, from your wife to the type of brothers that you have around you, that's so very important. The friends that we choose, Allah, is very important. And these are the type of friends, you know, get into the habit of saying, I love you for the sake of Allah. You know, get into the habit of asking your brother, like, sincerely, how are you feeling? Like, how are you doing? Like, seriously asking the question and waiting for an answer, and not accepting just I'm fine. You know, to get into the habit and to take away that stigma and that what the world look at. No, a man can't cry, type of thing. No, you can't complain too much. I think that's very important. I think that's very, very important.
Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept, like, once again, Havisab, the amount, it's beautiful. Like, the points that you raised here are very prevalent, and it's actually what every man is going through. And once again, we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for us as the man folk, brothers, to be able to speak about what we're going through, and finding solutions also in those things that do need a physical solution, and for those that need your medical attention, your psychiatry, not psychiatry, but psychological help also. We also go towards the assistance which is also offered, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khaira once again, Afisab. It's really always beautiful speaking to you, and unfortunately we are out of time, but these are topics that we really need, really the time base of what we're facing and what we're going through. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take you from strength to strength and make it easy for us to find the solutions wherever we have problems, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Right, alhamdulillah. That brings us to the end of our show tonight. Subhanallah, time does fly when you're having fun. And even though they're serious matters, but we always find pleasure in them, because these are the things that help us to be the trailblazers of the time and try to make people understand what is happening around us, and not just being dormant people. Again, I'll leave you with the beautiful hadith of Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says that khairukum anfa'ukum linnas, that the best amongst you are those people who are beneficial to people. So if you're not being beneficial to people, do not be a harm to people though. However, it is a beautiful Thursday evening. Remember to root upon the greatest of mankind, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa alihi wa barak wasallam, and read your surah al-Kahf for protection, inshallah ta'ala. And lastly, but not least, a lot of dua upon our brothers and sisters in Gaza. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them. They're also facing some, you can call, natural disaster with the floodings and the heavy rains and storms which are taking place now, making the matters even 10 times harder than they were before. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate their pain, make it easy for them to see a new dawn whereby there will be sunshine, the children will be happy and running and enjoying themselves in their own homes, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save them from the oppression that they're going through. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them their voice back, give them their land back, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most importantly give them freedom, inshallah. Ameen. Until we meet again, inshallah ta'ala, this is Yunus Kawanga, inshallah, from Salam Media. And live at the Salam Media Studios with my main man Sadiq was my operator. This is Call to Guidance. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.